Hey everyone, I'm hoping you can hear me okay. I'm going for a nice walk outside, and I thought I would do just a little mini Tom Talks, just for people to kind of understand what the heck is going on with the whole thing with the state of Oregon and SEIU 503, and how I was the statewide treasurer for that organization until I had to resign in protest rather than read a budget into record that I would uh, not read because it was unvetted. They would not give me the documents required for me to do my job. So when the leadership does that in full violation of the bylaws and in full violation of the law, at least when it comes to these situations and the Department of Labor, one resigns and then tries to shine a light on it. So now we have a complex situation because I get a lot of people saying kind of fun, silly things, right? They're like, "Hey, where's your evidence of like money laundering or where's your evidence of embezzlement or malfeasance or misappropriation? Where's your evidence?" They're asking me for evidence of things I never alleged. That's the fun part, to kind of like point, like go, look over there. Don't look at the actual problem, right? So I'm going to tell you this fun. I'm going to use a tool set from the son of a deity I honor quite a bit. Christ, excellent guy, pretty baller gentleman, yeah, and communicated very complex things to very simple-minded apostles, mind you, by way of allegory and metaphor, parable, right? This is what we're trying to do. So I'm going to go ahead and take a clue from my king, Christ, excellent, wise person, just like Siddhartha and other people too, are considered incredibly wise and wonderful to other cultures. In the West, look at Christ. So Christ spoke in parables. Here we go. Thank you for staying with me long enough. I just can't stress enough. This is parable, all right? But it speaks exactly to the situation, all right? So just go with me. Consider a civilization that's filled with great people, good, upstanding people, and then also some not so good people. And in order to deal with the not so good people, that civilization begins to make certain kinds of agreed upon procedures using a kind of a really interesting idea called human governance, right? And these agreed upon procedures for how people should conduct themselves in society are then called laws. Hammurabi, we love you. Now, let's pretend that this wonderful civilization makes a law against murder factories. They don't like murder factories. The good people of this civilization are like, you know what? Murder factories where a bunch of people just get murdered. It's like the function of the factory itself. Wow, we shouldn't have those. So they pass some laws, right? They get together and do a little bit of human governance and pass some laws, right? Agreed upon procedures for how you should behave. The main one, the chief one, being no murder factories. Those aren't allowed anymore. Now, there are a whole bunch of murder factory owners out there, and they love their murder factories because they use them to murder. And they're like, I love murder factories. Murder's great. Murder is so profitable, right? Parable, mind you. This is parable. Okay, so what happens? The society sends people out to go shut down murder factories. Really well-trained people who understand what a murder factory is and know how to shut it down. But then all of a sudden, these well-trained people start to, after they've shut down a number of murder factories, start to encounter a very odd thing. Giant black curtains in the shape of a murder factory. And then the murder factory owners go, where's the murder factory? There's no murder factory. And then you go, oh, it's behind the curtain that's shaped literally like a murder factory. And they go, no, that's a black curtain. That's not a murder factory. And so everyone gets together again and goes, wow, these are evil people. And then they come up with another agreed upon procedure that says, hey, guess what? Curtains that are shaped like murder factories are illegal and must be removed so that we can see if there's a murder factory behind there. Because maybe there isn't, right? But the important thing is you're not allowed to have the murder factory curtain obfuscating the murder factory, right? That's a good people parks department. Excellent guys. So anyway, so they passed that law, okay? Now, pretend there's a guy, I don't know. Let's if we're going to go Christ-like, let's call him Thomas, right after the apostle. That's a cool name. I like that name, you know? So pretend there's a guy named Thomas who is expertly trained at identifying murder factories, so much so that he could be an expert witness and is vetted by the FBI. And he decides, wow, okay, I just got elected to a position by my fabulous brothers and sisters in this cool organization that's designed to protect people that work hard for a living. I'm going to make sure that the money that they have to give to the organization that protects them is very well protected, because some of these brothers and sisters barely make enough to pay for groceries. So I want to make sure that their dues are being spent correctly. Oh, sorry, I slipped out of parable. So this Thomas character goes in and goes, that's not good. To which the people go, what do you mean, that are, in charge of this organization? And Thomas goes, all of the stuff I'm looking at appears to be a giant murder factory shaped curtain. A black one hanging up. We should probably get that out of there, because to have a murder factory shaped curtain up, whether or not there's a murder factory behind it, is still illegal and evidences criminal negligence. Now, if there's an actual murder factory back there once the curtain gets torn down, boy, oh boy, then it evidences actual criminality. Right? So the two options that this Thomas fellow is faced with is that he's looking at people that are either criminally negligent or actually criminals. So he goes, guys, you need to tear down this curtain that's shaped like a murder factory, because we can't have people thinking we have a murder factory. Those are even worse than the curtains. And they go, what are you talking about? How do you know? There's no murder factory. Prove it. Prove it there's a murder factory. Prove there's a murder factory. Thomas, prove there's a murder factory. To which I have to go, no, that wasn't what I was alleging. And I'm not trying to prove that. I have definitively demonstrated that there is a murder factory shaped curtain, though, hanging. So you're going to tear that down, and you're going to let me look behind it, and you're going to let me make sure for our members that you aren't running some kind of weird murder factory. To which they go, absolutely not, and string that poor Thomas along, at first saying like, oh yeah, we'll totally do it. And then weeks go by, and when Thomas presses them, they then come back with like ardent anger. And then I get, random people talking to me that are like, that work for the organization. Sorry, I slipped out of parable again. Thomas has a bunch of people in this organization also talk to him, and they try to say, you know what, it would just be so bad for the organization if you keep making some kind of weird noise about this curtain hanging up. And as you can see, there's no murder factory, right? Because the curtain perfectly obfuscates the murder factory. There's only a curtain there. And then I have to go, oh, okay. And then they go, hey, oh, sorry, I slipped again. Thomas, in the parable, has to then read a budget into record while not being able to look at anything. So Thomas goes, no, bye. And I'm going to get this solved on behalf of the members. So Thomas goes to, if we're going to be biblical, goes to Caesar, goes to the ruling authority power here. Or I don't know, the state of Oregon. Why not? He can be in a parable. Why not? And goes to people who know very well what murder factories are, and know very, very well what murder factory-shaped curtains are, and goes, hey, look at this murder factory-shaped curtain. We got to do something about this. To which they go, where's the murder factory? You haven't evidenced a murder factory. Stop talking about the murder factory-shaped curtain, because you didn't prove that there was a murder factory. To which I go, no, I'm not trying to prove that there's a murder factory. I'm trying to prove that there is a... Oh, I don't even need to prove. Literally, my expert testimony is enough to open an investigation, but I even give them evidence. Sorry, parable. Thomas even gives these centurions evidence. Okay? To which they go, oh, no. There's no evidence of the murder factory. So there you go. And then proceed to make Thomas feel very unsafe in Rome. And so Thomas then has to say, hey, guys, I no longer feel safe. I no longer feel like you're representing my best interests. So I'm going to step away as a whistleblower here now, because you guys are also seeming either, one, criminally negligent, or two, criminal. So Thomas steps away. They've had this information for 9 months now. Oh, wait, sorry, parable. So Thomas now has to speak with a bunch of people, potentially have a lawsuit going, and is currently going to wrap up his level 3 grievance and possibly go into arbitration. All the while, there's just this murder factory-shaped curtain just hanging up that no one seems to want to do anything about. So what else does Thomas do? He goes to the prophets and the town callers, the town criers of the land, who should be going, hear ye, everyone, a horrible thing is happening. But instead they go, where's the murder factory? You didn't give me evidence of a murder factory. To which Thomas has to go, no. I don't need to give you evidence of a murder factory. I am alleging that there is a giant curtain hanging up, obfuscating the murder factory, which, by the way, is illegal. It's not like up to interpretation. It's illegal. So the media goes, and we're friends with people, so we're not going to talk about it. Maybe, I don't know. See, that's a parable. That's parable I'm talking. All of this is parable, right? So that's why Thomas has to take matters into his own hands and just start posting things online and talking about this horrifying situation while walking through a park. In a parable situation, I guess, right? So anyway, I don't know how much more plain I can make this. Obviously, I'm speaking about financial matters, so not actual murder factories, but this is what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with people who think they're getting away with something by simply being the serial killer in the living room when the FBI bursts in and goes, you can't look under all these body-shaped sheets in my living room because you don't have proof of any bodies in my living room, and expecting that to work. Those are the people I'm dealing with. Maybe it will work, like I said. If for some reason the entire justice system refuses to touch it in Oregon, and the media in Oregon refuses to touch it, and then like personal reprisals are constantly dealt against the person trying to blow that whistle, well, maybe that is enough. Maybe it is enough. I guess we'll have to see. Oh well. Oh, by the way, data science is going very well, and I've made some excellent connections there, and my thesis is coming along very nicely. So just wanted to put that out there too. And it is a beautiful day today, and I wish you all the best. Bless you all. I am happier and healthier than ever, and I'm just so pleased to be able to stand somewhat as a beacon of light, just trying to do what's right, even though it has cost me greatly in ways that I will never be able to fully elucidate, but it's worth it. Much love, everyone. Bye.